All right, so I just want to talk about the XLM pattern just a bit more in detail. And I've cleaned up the chart a lot more. And basically, I've been doing a bit of trading lately with Bitcoin and getting onto some nice runs. And last night, basically, a wave happened that I did not expect, which changed my view. Maybe look back to the pattern, to the whole pattern since the low, 2019, whatever. And I realized that Bitcoin's pattern is slightly different. It's slightly different. Now, XLM's pattern is a wave one. Okay, this is a wave one. This to me tells us that this is a small wave compared to what's coming. But before we get to what's coming, we need to see wave two correction, right? Now, the wave two correction is in progress. Wave D is in progress, right? So once we get wave D, we will get a pullback. Now, this will be a great pump and dump, basically, right? So getting into this trade, I think is very important if you want to, you know, chip up, increase your stack. To understand the pattern, I kept it really simple, and I think I get it more than ever now. Looking at patterns when you're trading constantly, you start to just get a feeling for the pattern. And I did it again with XLM. I looked at it and I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense now. We have an A since 2017 high, we have an A, B, C, the D's in progress. That's all. Simple, right? Within the D wave, you have an A, B, C. There's a lot of this stuff going on in these patterns. I noticed you get an A, B, C, D, E down here, start of wave one of wave C, right? So the next big move, wave one, has already happened. And then I just want to clarify that I just changed the labeling in here because I usually make this mistake. I label something a one that it's not a one. It's not a one, right? It's basically A, B, C again, D and E. So this move that I believe just finished, right, is the end of wave two of that wave one of wave C, the big move up. So this is really the only area we need to focus right now. And by the way, if you want to know, my target is $2. It might go a bit above it, might even hit $3. But as the same measurement, I'll just go back and show you that. As the same measurement, right? We have the same length of wave A. It goes to about $2, 2.2. But the first wave was a week 5 wave move. There was a bit of overlap, right? I believe actually, yeah, it was like zigzag up, zigzag up, zigzag up into the final high, right? And I'm pretty sure that's the only way you can count that without being silly, right? So the next move, I think it's going to be a bit stronger. So it does have a potential to exceed that, in my opinion, right? Um, anyway, so going back down to the small degree, really want to talk about this again. So we have A, B, C, D, E, final move, right? Now I did say this was an E wave, and it's actually funny because E waves are very distinct. The wave four makes it look like the wave is over. This happens all the time, right? If you look back here, something similar kind of happened. This is the wave E that ended the B wave, right? We're going into C wave now, the B wave. So you could see that it was like 1, 2, 3, and then you had to move up. It went back down, right? Uh, in this D wave in here, right? You have A, B, C. Sorry, A, B, wait, A, B, C. So the B in here is actually here. Sorry, A, B, C, D, E. So this is the E, and you can see the E wave. The wave four looked like it was going up and then came back down. Right now, this has already happened in the current E wave. Right, the current E wave, you could see that It went down, looked like it was going to bottom here, came back up, but it was up and down a few times, right? Like if you look closely, you could see even a previous inverse head and shoulders pattern here, which didn't materialize. But the reason why I think this is complete is because we had a full correction in wave 4 that was massively clear, right? You had your A, your B, sorry, let me fix that up again. You had your A, you had your B, you had your C, D, and E, and then you had wave 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, right? 4 and 5. Now, this particular inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? It it broke the down sloping trend line, which I connected via wave 2 and 4, the end of wave 4. So to me, this is definitely more reliable than what would have been a previous failed head and shoulder inverse head and shoulders pattern, because it didn't really break anything, right? This one broke the down sloping trend line, and I know that that is important, right? And to me, I can go into the detail of this small wave, and I can see that there is a potential for a wave 1, A, B, C, D, E. So this being the base down here, right? Now that D wave isn't 100% amazing. Um, I must say that it's definitely not something that is usual. So if there's a chance that this is a D wave, and what we're seeing now is a potentially an E wave drop, your best bet is to have a stop at the lowest point, right? Like they say, with the head and shoulders pattern, you should always put your stop above or below the head, right? So this particular thing here could be just a D wave within wave 2. So see another example of how a D wave can expand, right? So just saying that's a D wave doesn't make sense. So there is a potential for a pullback, but not going down below the base. After we see this complete, it is in my opinion that we should see prices start to rocket up, and we need to break this level here, which is 0.1383, right? And the interesting thing about that particular level is that it also acts as a neckline for a larger head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? Double bottom here, and once again, right? And then we should move up. Now there's too many things that look right about this count. There's too many things that feel right about this trade, and potential pitfalls like a move back lower. Okay. And that's fine, because that move back down on the 15-minute or whatever, the small degree here, it would be something sharp followed by probably something sharp back up to break that neckline up above, right? Okay, the bigger one at 13 cents. So this is pretty cool. I like the setup. It's definitely worth trading, I believe. Um, I do think that the percentage gain on this is going to be pretty wild compared to like Bitcoin going to its perceived target of, I think it's like 200,000 or 250,000, something like that. In terms of percentage from current levels, XLM will outperform, right? Because its target doesn't, from where it is, yeah, this one's 2,600%. whereas Bitcoin's is like it's under 1,000. I'll cover my new updated idea for Bitcoin in a separate video, but hopefully you found this one interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.